Hi, let's do a craft, shall we? So I started out by taking a white sock, which I had bought the white sock I bought a whole pack of white socks at Walmart, and I made a very strong cup of coffee using instant coffee. I put twice the amount, and then I soaked the sock in it for about 15 minutes, and then I hung it out to dry, and now we're moving on. So then I have a styrofoam ball that's about the size of a baseball. I don't know sizes. I have no idea. And I just took the ribbed part and I'm going to kind of glue that down right there. That's not going to show. So I'm going to glue that down and that's going to be the head. Let me let my dog out already. Please stand by. He always wants out when I get to work on something. So anyway, I'm just going to add just a little bit of glue on the inside of this ribbing. And yes, I have fingers. I do. They're back there in my craft room where they belong, okay? But I am very careful with not touching the glue. I do have a spatula that I bought specifically for this that is also not over here. Yeah, that's what I do. I live life on the dangerous side. Not on purpose, it's just I'm forgetful. But I just try not to touch the glue when it's super hot. And when I do, I say, well, you big dummy, you should have known better. Yep, that's what I say. So this is gonna go on top of a carrot, so that little part will not show. So I think that will be just fine. Okay, now we're gonna make some ears. We're going to, I'm gonna cut that down just a little. I don't want the ears to be quite that big, I don't think. Maybe about that big. So I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna fold it in two because I want them to be kind of sort of the same size, like this. Okay, my dog came back in, so I'm gonna shut that door because it's super windy today. Hold on just a second. Now I'm gonna take some wire. It's jewelry wire, and I got it at, do y'all see that light? That's from a sun catcher on my front porch. That is not an orb. I know somebody keeps seeing an orb in my bathroom, but that's a sun catcher on my front porch. I just caught sight of it. Anyway, Joann's is where I got it, but they sell it at Hobby Lobby, Walmart, anywhere pretty much sells jewelry wire. So I'm just gonna make these ear size, and I'm gonna use wire cutters to cut the wire. And then I'm gonna make another ear because this rabbit's gonna have both of his ears. I'm gonna try to cut them about the same length. They don't have to be perfect, but I don't want one to be an inch long and the other one to be 5 inches long. You don't really have to worry about measuring these to be exactly the same as mine. You just want them to fit inside your ear size that you cut. So don't worry about actual exact dimensions, okay? So I'm gonna take this kind of like chopsticks here, and I'm going to stick them in the styrofoam ball. Stick one on this side. You can shape them a little better once you get them stuck in there. And then I'm going to do it on the other side. Now, Barb did this on the Shabby Tree. Her sister did it, and I can't remember her sister's page right now. But you know, both of Barb's sisters have pages. I just don't remember which of her sisters did this craft. And then I saw it on somebody else's page, but she gave credit to Barb. So I just wish I could remember that person's page name. Okay, so we got the 2 ears. You see the ears, the bunny ears? Put it on something that's gray. Light. And then I'm going to cover them with the sock to make bunny ears, okay? Okay, so I'm going to lay that down just like that. If y'all can see what I'm doing. And then can you see? Yes, you can see, I think. So I'm just gonna put some glue. I'm gonna start way up in here and I'm gonna come all the way down the inside of this sock. And then I'm going to, I want this sock to be between the ears and I'm gonna fold it over. Guys, I have a high temp glue gun. So trust me when I say I am super careful with touching anything that has this glue on it because it is hot. I'm gonna trim this sock because I don't need quite that much sticking up above the ear, because the least you have sticking up, the least you're gonna have to hide. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna stick that down like that. And then we're just gonna take, see that right there? I'm just taking a little bit of glue and I'm just kind of squeezing it in there. And then I'm going to take this and just gently fold it over. Just like that. Pull that up just a little bit. Once the glue starts to cool just a little bit, it's way easier to touch. But you still have to be careful. Okay, so I got it around the top because mainly we're gonna see it on the front. So we're not as concerned with what the back is gonna look like. I mean, although you want it to look decent, it doesn't have to be perfect on the back. Then we're gonna put it on something. We're gonna make it stand up on something. And it's probably gonna go on a shelf or on a table. It's gonna be beautiful. Okay, and then I'm gonna do the other side. I'll take it over there just a little bit to give me room to work on this side. I'm just gonna take the glue back up this one side, not across the top yet because we're gonna trim it. And I'm on the back. Okay, I was about to say, what am I doing? But I am on the back of it. You want the front to be the pretty side. Okay, I'm gonna trim this off at the top. I'm gonna pull that over the top like that and glue it down. Take the other side and just fold it kind of up and over where I just folded that over. Somebody told me in the comments that she doesn't use a glue gun because she lost, I think she said 2 fingernails by burning them off with a glue gun. Oh, that sounds the absolute most painful. Okay, alrighty. And there's a little gap right there, so I'm just gonna put a little bit of glue and press that down. And I'm gonna use my paintbrush to just kind of stick it down, kind of like that. Now, isn't that cute? And then we can kind of stand our ears back up. We're going to make a carrot. Please stand by. Now for the carrot, we are going to put some glue and we're gonna start wrapping. Now this one I am gonna have to be really careful. I'm going to be closer to the glue. So I'm gonna fold that over. It's gonna take a little bit more glue to hold that because it's 3 strands trying to come undone. I'm gonna bend it over like that. We're gonna make it happen. It's wanting to come uncurled, but we're not gonna let it. And then we're gonna bend it over like that, okay? And then I'm gonna put just a wee tad of glue, just a bit. Don't need a lot, just to stick that piece to that piece. Why are you coming unglued? I mean, not unglued, but untwisted. Maybe if I throw it on the floor. We only need this to be as big around as this. I mean, maybe a little bit bigger, but we don't need it very big. Then we'll start making a carrot. It's gonna be so cute. Just another tiny dot of glue, and then I'm just gonna hold that there to give it time to set. It doesn't take long. And we're gonna turn it a little. I'm gonna add a little more glue. I'm gonna put my glasses on so I can see what I'm doing. I'm gonna be less apt to stick my finger in the glue if I can actually see what I'm doing. I think I'm still gonna add some more. Well, it'll probably be all right. Once I add it to that, I'll add some glue. I think it'll be fine. You want enough to hold it, but not enough so that it starts oozing. We never want it to ooze. My hair looks dark, doesn't it? I think these glasses make my hair look dark. Is that even possible for your glasses to make your hair look dark? That's about right. Yep, that's about what we want. Okay, so I'm gonna put one more dot of glue here. And then we're gonna start going up. See, that's a flat little dinner plate. Then we're gonna start going up. So I'm gonna put my glue next time on the top of the braid, whatever you call this stuff, jute. Kind of gotta have gentle hands with this, because if you squeeze it too hard, it's probably gonna come undone. So I'm trying to just gently hold it. And I'm just putting a little bit of glue. That's not a lot of glue. And then as we go up, we're gonna taper like a carrot. Isn't that amazing? Now this, you can get at Dollar Tree. You only need one of them. And I want to say that I got the styrofoam ball at Dollar Tree. Okay, you see how it's stacking? Now I'm going to start going in just a little. So I'm going to put my glue more on the inside, to the inside of that. Just a light beating of glue. I'm trying to keep this thing twisted as I go. Okay. Have y'all seen those bed springs that you can buy? They have them in antique stores like this. So this is gonna go in this. So if you have one, go find it. Well, I mean after the video. Don't go find it right now. I'm just keeping that right on the inside. Now, if you don't like a glue gun, I guess you could stitch this. You know how they stitch things? See where I have a little opening right there? I'm gonna put a little bit of glue. I'm gonna open its mouth. Open, open. Just gonna add some glue. And then I'm gonna glue its mouth shut. Yes, you keep your mouth shut, okay? Okay, it kind of looks like a little beehive, doesn't it? You could make a little beehive out of it. Oh, I might have to make one of those. Put a little bee on it. That'd be cute. It's gonna be a short, fat carrot. But that's okay. So I think I'm gonna untwist this and try to finish this off with a thinner piece, because this is a lot of chunk going on here. It's a lot of chunk. I think I'm gonna cut off the 2 pieces. So I'm gonna glue those down inside the hole. Just gonna stuff those down in there. I wanna finish off with just this one piece. I got another little mouth hole here talking. So I'm gonna shut the mouth hole up. And then I'm gonna take this and just twist it on. Because I want it to taper, you know? You want your carrot to taper. Okay, here we are. It's the next day. I'm wearing a different shirt because, you know, I told y'all in last night's video that I just gave up. I was like, I'm done. And I'm using a different phone holder so you can see more. But look, I made a tornado. It looks just like a tornado. It's gonna be a carrot. We're gonna paint it orange. My carrot making skills. I don't know. I just don't know. But anyway, we'll paint it orange and see what happens. And I think Penny wants to go out already. Okay, I'll just leave the door open, even though it's kind of chilly, but because if I don't, she'll want right back in, and then Charlie will want out, and then Gracie will want out, and then they'll all want back in, and that is the story of my life. I'm just gonna squeeze that all over there. And then I'm just gonna take a little paintbrush, and I'm just gonna start brushing it all around. It's dripping, but that's okay. I'll scoop it back up. I won't waste an actual drop of it. Don't you worry about a thing. It started out looking like a beehive, and now it looks like a tornado. I'm not sure where the carrot part went, but we're gonna make it work as a carrot, okay? Because I've worked too hard on this thing to not use it. I was gonna try. I was like, what else can I use for a carrot instead of this thing? I like the rustic look of this carrot. When I got down here to the bottom, it just didn't want to go into a little cone shape. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, nope. I'm going to stay looking like a tornado. Thank you very much. I'm going to lay that down so that I don't get orange paint all over my hands. Because the carrot here, in case you haven't figured out, is the body of the rabbit. Okay, I don't really have to paint. I'm sorry, I probably got off screen, but I'm just painting. I'm not gonna worry about all of the top because it will be covered, but I wanna go in on the, you know, just go in around just to make sure that none of that brown shows. Look at there. It's a orange tornado. Let's use you. Just get that all good and coated. So the color I'm using, it's Craft Smart Satin Acrylic Paint Burnt Orange. I'm not sure who sells that brand. Probably Hobby Lobby. I think we have our tornado pretty well covered. That's good. We can always touch it up if we need to, but we're gonna move on to the next step. Okay, we're just gonna slide that on over, and I'll rinse that brush out in a minute. The next thing we're going to do is I took some green homespun fabric and I made tiny little cuts, probably, I don't know what that is, 1/4 inch or something. And you make the little, just a little cut at the top, and then you tear it to get these. I wasn't sure how many I needed, so I just did a bunch of them. And now I'm gonna use this green twine, not for any reason other than it's what I found. So I'm just gonna cut off a piece. So I'm gonna set something heavy on this end to hold it down, just this, and something heavy on, I'll use my cup, on this end, just so we can have this little green string here, okay? And then we're gonna take one of these. I don't know how long these are. That's probably, depends on who you ask, but that's probably 1 foot long. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be exact. That's just the length of my fabric, so that's what I made it. You're gonna fold it in half, because I may end up trimming them anyway. I don't know how it's gonna look this long. You're gonna take this up under here. You have your green fabric under the rope. You're gonna take the tails through the head, the loop, and you're gonna pull it tight. Yeah, that I can tell you right now, that's gonna be way too long. You know what I may do? I may just go ahead and cut these in half. Let me see if half will be the right length before I do them all. Let's try one of these. Yeah, that's probably about right. So more like 6 inches, I guess. Fold it in half, tuck it under, take the tails through the bunny head and pull, okay? That's about right, okay? I don't know what they call it. But if you start the first one by going under, make the rest of them go under. Otherwise, you'll have some knots on the front and some knots on the back. And I don't know yet how many we're gonna use. Let's just do a bunch of these. I'm gonna speed this part up, and I'm gonna try not to talk. Fold it in half, under the string, open the little bunny head, tuck the tails through, and I'm saying bunny head just because that's what we're making. And then you pull it tight. This would be easier if I would go get my tape so it would hold this string down, but alrighty. I took it out of the craft room yesterday to bring here to this modified craft room because my craft room's a mess. And apparently I stopped off at the ladies' room in the hallway. And that's where I left it. Yep, can't blame anybody for my messes. I can only blame me. So I'm just taping this down at either side, leaving a little give in this so that I can work. And this is just painter's tape, so it will easily come off my countertop. Alrighty, let's try this again. We're gonna keep them pushed together. This is gonna go around the bunny's neck. We just need to make this big enough to wrap all the way around where this head is gonna connect to that tornado. I'm gonna say that that is probably enough. Oh yeah. So that's the green of the carrot. We can go ahead and duty up our duty. Really, Tracy? So I brought in my little black buttons, and I'm hoping to find 2 itty bitty black buttons for the eyes. And these are buttons that I have bought buttons at Joann's. Some of these are my mom's buttons that she had. She was a button collector. She loved buttons. Oh, there's 2 matching black little buttons. 2 little black buttons. I would love to find a little nose, but if I don't find a little nose, I can definitely sew one of those on. I might use that. I might have to sew it anyway, but I'm gonna use that for the nose. I got these little containers at Old Time Pottery, and I separated my buttons. Doesn't everyone separate their buttons, right? So I did like neutral black, white, gray buttons in here, and then I have another one that's more like the brown tone, earth tone buttons, and then I have some like just red buttons. But you need buttons in your craft room. If you don't have buttons in your craft room, what are you doing, right? Okay, my heat gun's gonna glue up. Glue up? My heat gun is gonna glue up. My glue gun is gonna heat up. I'm gonna go get something to stitch that little nose on. We're gonna make some whiskers, and I'm gonna probably stitch on just a little bitty mouth. And then once that dries, my tornado dries, we'll put it all together. Okay, so I got some black thread, and I got a needle, and I'm gonna try to thread this needle. My mom used to come to me and be like, here, do it. Look there. So I'm just gonna keep it folded in half. I'm gonna tie a little knot at the bottom, and then I'm gonna stick it through about the center here, right about here. Just like that. Can y'all see me? Okay, I don't know. And where'd my button go? I done lost my button. Are you kidding me? Oh, it's right here in front of me. And then I'm gonna take my button. See, it's got that little hole on the back, and I'm just gonna slide that little hole over that little needle. Oh, stop it. We're gonna stick it out like that, and then we're gonna stick that on there like that. Okay, all right. Can you be still and quit running around? That's where I started, right there. So I'm gonna loop it kind of back through that. I'm just looping it back through the hole on the back, and I'm gonna pull it tight. And I'm just gonna do that a few times. I'm gonna come back on the other side. I'm gonna go into the sock a little bit, just right there at it. I'm gonna pick up a little bit of the sock, and then I'm gonna go back through the hole in the back of my button. And I just wanna get it good and stuck down like that. Now, while I have it here, let's back up just a little bit, get out of my face. I'm gonna bring this down to right here, and then I'm gonna come back out the top, okay? Because I want just a straight little line right there. That probably wasn't long enough, so I'm gonna come a little bit longer. That's all right. And then I'm gonna come back through again, just trying to make a little line, because you know how a bunny will have that little line right there. It's hard to do when you're holding it up in the air. Oh, sorry to have that needle stuck up your nose, little bunny rabbit. Made my nose hurt just looking at it. Let's just tighten it up just a little bit. I'm gonna come back down to the bottom. This time, I'm gonna come straight back down where that line is, but this time, I'm gonna go in the bottom, and then I'm gonna come out over here, because he needs a little mouth, okay? I'll come out over there, and then I'm gonna come, I think I might just, do I wanna come all the way across? He might look mad. I don't want him to look mad, so I'm gonna come down a little, and I'm gonna stop here, okay? I'm gonna stop right there, and then I'm gonna come back out the same hole up here, okay, like that. And then I'm gonna come back down, but when I come back down in that hole, I'm gonna go up the other direction, like this, okay? See, that's one side, and then I'm gonna come back down, but I'm gonna turn that around, and I'm gonna come back up through the same hole, like that. He's got a little loop in his little mouth, but that's okay. I'm gonna come back down, right there to the center, right there, and I'm gonna try to make that his little nose thing a little longer. He's just not wanting to cooperate. I'm gonna take it straight up, underneath, okay? So there's his little crooked mouth. That's fine, we don't care. We're gonna come back down here. We're just gonna come back up again, okay? Like that. We're gonna come back down. Look at there. And now I'm gonna clip this. I'm clipping it real close to the needle so that I have a little bit left. You know what? I'm not even gonna worry about it because I'm gonna glue it. That's what I'm gonna do. That gave him a little nose and a little mouth. I'm gonna add a little bit of glue to that to get it to stay down. Because you know with this glue, it's not really gonna go anywhere. That'll work. It's gonna start barking again. Okay, so now we're gonna make whiskers. Maybe, I don't know, 3 inches. We're gonna need 4 of them. Again, it doesn't have to be exact measurements, just however long you want your little whiskers to be. You can do more than 4. You do it your way. All right, we got 4, and now I'm gonna use the end of this paintbrush. You can use a pencil. We're just gonna hold that down, and we're gonna twist. Okay, that's fine. So you wanna leave a little tail on it, and you wanna kind of pull it out like that. And then all we're gonna do is we're gonna talk over because my dog started going crazy and they just kept barking and barking. So anyway, we're just gonna take those little coiled up pieces of whiskers and we're gonna jam them in the styrofoam, and we're gonna do 4 of them, 2 on each side. Just say thank you for muting this because you couldn't have heard me anyway because of those dogs barking, because the Amazon delivery driver showed up. I guess that's what it was. But anyway, back to the story. They don't even know what they're barking at this point. Penny doesn't know what they're barking at. I don't know if Charlie knows. He knew that it was the Amazon truck. I'm not sure Penny ever even saw the Amazon truck. She's just following suit. She's just his backup. She's like, I got you, bro. I got you. All right. There's our little thingy things. And now I'm just gonna glue these little buttons on. Don't need a lot of glue. Lastly, we're gonna put on a little blush. Now you could add little flowers here if you want to. I've lost my blush. This is just one of those Ipsy samples. That's a little too dark for me. And I'm just gonna take and try to get up under these whiskers. Oh, that's a lot. You've got really rosy cheeks there, Bunny Bunny. I'm just gonna put it right there. Just give them a little rosy cheeks. Isn't that the cutest thing ever? All right, now I believe that our tornado is dry. Dry. That's the word I'm looking for. So I'm going to put glue on the top of my tornado. Just gonna kind of fill it up. Is there a good side or a bad side? I don't guess it really matters. And then just gonna set my little head down on top of it. I'm gonna hold it so they become one. We need you to become one. Isn't that the cutest thing? If I could find some little flowers, I would put them in her hair. Okay, and then this is where the bed spring comes in. We're gonna set her in the bed spring and hope that she stays sitting up and doesn't try to fall over. And then we're gonna take our little greenery that we made and we're just gonna tie it around the top. And then we can just lay that down, make sure they're good and tight. We can spread them back out once I get it tied, but I just want to see what it looks like first. See what we're dealing with, because I don't want it to be so tight that it stands up like that. So I'm going to start moving some back around, because you want them to lay down. I may trim those a little bit more to be a little bit shorter. And in the back, I'm just tying a knot. And then I'll clip the string. Now, isn't that the cutest thing ever? I love it. Do you love it? Yeah, maybe trim it just a little because that's kind of covering my tornado carrot. I'll just give it a little haircut because as hard as I worked on that carrot, we want it to be seen, right? And we can see the carrot too. Now you can fix the ears a little bit if you want them to have a little bit of a flop. Okay, there it is. Hope you enjoyed this crafting video because it took me 82 hours to do it. I will see you on the next Tracy Tries. Remember, I love you. Jesus loves you. Bunny loves you. I hope Jesus is coming back soon because people be crazy. And I will talk to you on the next Tracy Tries, okay? Okay, goodbye. Goodbye. Say goodbye.